Hello, folks. Welcome back to my channel. This is the World of TV Shows, and today I have another episode review for you of Bones. And this time we'll be looking at the third episode of the first season called A Boy in a Tree. The episode originally aired on September 27, 2005 on Fox. It was directed by Patrick R. Norris and written by Hart Hanson, Kathy Reiches, as well as Elizabeth Benjamin. So, in this episode, Booth and Brennan are gonna go drive down to that private school, and this actually happens to be some prep school, if I'm not mistaken. And basically, they're gonna be starting their investigation there, right? As a body was found hanging down from a tree in the forest, in the woods of the school grounds, right? So they're gonna go there, and well, obviously, yes, I didn't mention that, but Zach Eddy, Brennan's assistant, is also tagging along with them. So they're gonna go there and have a look at the body and try to determine the cause of death and all these other preliminary findings, right? And then after that, they're gonna take the body back to DC to their lab in an effort to run a more thorough, detailed investigation and try to identify the body and put a name, put a face to the bones and a name to the face, right? So basically they're gonna do that. They're gonna, go on with their identification, investigation, whatever you wanna call it, and they're gonna find out about the identity of the victim. And well, this actually, I don't want to spoil too much or anything, but I think that it wouldn't be spoiling if I were to tell you his name. So basically, his name is Nestor Olivos, and he is actually originally from Venezuela, if I'm not mistaken. And his mother happens to be some ambassador, right? And there's something about him that he was a student, right, at that school. And there's something that sets him apart from the rest of the group of students. But I don't want to tell you what it is because I don't want to spoil too much or anything. But it appears at first that a lot seems to be indicating that this young boy could have committed suicide, right? But Booth, the FBI agent, believes he's suspecting foul play, and he strongly believes that the staff of that prep school might be trying to hide and cover up something, right? Trying to sweep something under the rug in order to save their reputation, right? And not letting this tragedy that occurred, within the grounds of their school kind of tarnish their reputation, right? So he's going to be pretty suspicious, you might say. And Brennan is going to decide to go down with her partner's gut feeling, to say the least. Those who have watched the episode, that is, you probably know what I mean by that. Yeah, it was pretty funny at the beginning. There's a scene, involving the gut term. But then they're gonna be, trying to understand how and who could have meant this boy harm, right? So they're gonna go back to the school and they're gonna ask more questions, Booth mostly, right? The FBI agent to the principal and that security agent that is always kind of hanging around there at his office, at the principal's office. And he's going to try to get some cooperation from them, which is not going to be easy, right? There's also a sheriff at the beginning who is, you know, who says that, who's an old friend of Booth, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. And at first, she seems to be willing to cooperate, but then as the investigation goes on, it appears that, cooperation in that town and within that school, that is, the school grounds, the prep school, it's going to be kind of like pulling teeth, right? It's going to be difficult to gain full cooperation. But Booth is not going to let that deter him from pursuing his investigation, and he's going to do it alongside Brennan. And they're going to kind of reach at some point they're going to make a big discovery and understand that there might be a lot of secrets within that school lurking in the school grounds, kind of thing, right? Lurking in the school, sorry, I know it, sometimes I don't make a lot of sense. But yeah, basically they're gonna go back and their investigation is gonna lead them to some, well, I don't want to spoil too much anything right off the bat, but basically yes, it appears, it seems that some members of the school might have a few secrets of their own. That's all I will say, right? So they're gonna find out. They're gonna try to uncover these secrets, right, and bring them to light, right? This is pretty much how it goes. So I guess this is all for A Boy in a Tree. This is the main storyline, that is. And also I didn't mention, but there are a few sidelines in this one, in this episode, right? And it's a pretty grisly case, you might say. So it's a little humor is welcome. And basically, we have Zach Eddy, the Brenner's assistant, who's pretty young, who's basically going through something. And I'll let you find out for yourselves what it is, because I don't want to spoil too much or anything. But then also we have Booth, who goes to that restaurant called Wong's. And at some point, the Squints kind of, just, barge in a way. And it's pretty funny because the owner of the restaurant, his name is Sid, he basically, when you go to that restaurant, you can't order. I'll let you find out for yourselves what it means. I know that seems kind of weird, but I wouldn't want to spoil it for you. It's sorry about that. It's part of the humor of the show, so I'll let you find out for yourselves what it is. But yeah, it was pretty funny in my opinion. And also there's gonna be a scene involving, Jack Hutchins, who's the bug and slime guy. There's something about him in this episode. I'll let you find out for yourselves what it is. Yeah, it was pretty funny because he actually orders. And yeah, this was hilarious, kind of, in a way. So anyhow, let's move on to the actors before wrapping this up. So we have the main ones: Emily Deschanel, David Boreanaz, Michael Conlon, Eric Milligan, DJ Thine, Jonathan Adams. Then we have Josie Zuniga, right, who plays Mickey Santana, who is Booth's superior at the FBI, if I'm not mistaken, right? So basically, yeah, he's there, involved a little bit in the beginning. Then we have Heavy D, who plays Sid Shapiro, the owner of the restaurant I was telling you about. We have Mark Toady, who plays Leo Sanders, who is kind of the security at the school, for the principal. Then we have Tom Duggan, who plays the principal, the headmaster, Ronson. We have Marlene Forte, who plays Ambassador Olivos, the mother of Nestor's mother, the mother of the victim, right? Then we have Gary Carlos Cervantes, who plays Oraldo. We have Mandy June Turpin, who plays Don St. James. We have Nicholas Horman, who plays Mr. Destry. Toby Hemingway plays Tucker Patterson. We have Kayla Mae Maloney, who plays Camden Destry. And we have Avis Rentmore, who plays Melody Destry. And Nestor is played by Brian Burnett, right? So I really enjoyed these actors, especially Kayla Mae Maloney, who is an actress who was in other TV shows as well. She gets starred in a lot, and she's really talented, especially in this one. You'll find out for yourselves. I really enjoyed also Mark Toady, Tom Duggan, Heavy D, and Marlene Forte, who are pretty good, especially Ambassador Olivos, played by Marlene Forte. She's pretty good there, right? She's very convincing as the mother, and you can tell that at the beginning, they don't, Booth and Brennan don't actually see eye to eye on a few things, especially on what could have been the cause of death. Booth is one of the fewest people who believe that he didn't commit suicide, and so did his mother, Ambassador Olivos. She doesn't believe that her son would have done such a thing. And I'll let you find out for yourselves what could make her think that at the beginning. I wouldn't want to spoil it too much or anything, but yeah, I thought that this was a pretty intense kind of, it was pretty good to have that kind of, difference of opinions between Booth and Brennan, but eventually Brennan is gonna give in and just decide to trust her partner on that one. But it was pretty good, especially there's a line involving, how, a mother's love for a child. And obviously, yes, Brennan and the ambassador are going to share a pretty kind of intense moment. And I think that this was pretty good too. I mean, I really enjoyed it, especially seeing, Brandon kind of, open up a little bit about, when it comes to feelings and things like that, things she's not usually used to. But there she's basically, yeah, she understands, right, what the mother is telling her. So I really enjoyed that a lot. So yeah, I guess this is pretty much it for this episode. Honestly, loved this episode. One of my favorites of the show, of the season. It was excellent. So if I were to give it a rating, I would give it a nine out of 10. It was near to excellent. I really really enjoyed it. It was so good, and especially from the very beginning when you get to the school grounds and you have the crows kind of feasting on the buddy. It was pretty grisly. It's a pretty grisly sight to say the least. But then, this case is scary and a little bit disturbing. Sorry, not scary per se, but then as the episode goes on, more answers are provided, and it's so suspenseful and good. And there's a lot of humor too, especially concerning Sid, the owner of that restaurant, and especially a scene where there are all those photographs on the table of the restaurant, and he's like, "This is a restaurant. People come here to eat." What the heck is the matter with you people? Something along those lines. I thought that this was pretty funny. So yeah, this was a pretty fun episode. In addition to being kind of sad and scary and kind of heartbreaking and yes, very kind of a hard one to watch. It has humor too. This is what I love about the show Bones, is that the humor kind of complements this whole, the seriousness of the cases, which is usually there. It's pretty serious, pretty case oriented. There's not a lot of, it's not funny per se, but you have the humor that kind of, adds a little bit, kind of lightens up the mood a bit. So I really, really enjoyed this episode a lot, a lot. And it was definitely an excellent episode. So 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for me for it. What about you folks? What do you think about this episode? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next review for another episode. In the meantime, folks, stay safe. Goodbye. Take care. This is the World of TV Show signing off.